Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Cryptolite. My name is Dan and today I'll be talking to you about the coin Zilliqa and why I think it's currently the best scaling platform in the market. If you'd like to learn more, keep watching. First of all, a big shout out to Andy McRory for this recommendation. Zilliqa is a coin that I've been wanting to review, so I'm so glad that someone requested it. Zilliqa is another blockchain platform project. You might be thinking, why do we need another blockchain platform project? There's already a ton of platforms out there. To help you appreciate why blockchain platform projects are so popular as investments these days, let me give you a popular example of something that happened recently. Now, over the last week, the market has been red and a lot of coins, almost every coin on the market has been going down. A remarkable exception to this is the coin NEM. Now, against the current, NEM has been going up over the last 7 days. It's gone up as much as 25% on a single day. One of the main reasons for NEM's rise these last few days is because of an article that they posted recently, which is NEM shows off big list of projects built using the NEM blockchain. And in that article, which is quite a lengthy article, they listed about 50 or 60 projects that is currently, or dApps that are currently built on their platform, and 50 or 60 projects is currently considered an impressive list to the crypto world. In fact, it's so impressive that it slingshot them from number 14 on the market to the top 10 currently. Now, if you look at the other coins, the other top 10 coins on the crypto market at the moment, you will notice that among the top 10, 5 of them blockchain platforms like Ethereum and Neo, Cardano, NEM and EOS, and the other 5 are currencies like Ripple, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Stellar, and so on. In fact, Stellar is also a platform. Now, why are there so many platform projects on the blockchain? It's because every blockchain project that comes onto the market needs a platform to be built on. And the more projects that are built on the platform, the more the platform is worth. Now, because of scalability issues, practically there is a limit to the number of dApps or decentralized apps that can be built on each platform. Once you cross the limit like Ethereum, the performance drops dramatically because you can't keep up with the volume and people then move on to other platforms. So now, currently there are about 2,000 coins or 2,000 blockchain projects on the market. NEM is in the top 10 with just 50 to 60 dApps, which again is very impressive for the current market. But imagine in 3 to 5 years time when we will have 100,000, maybe even 1 million blockchain projects happening. Each of these platforms then will be saturated with business, each hosting 10,000 or more dApps. Can you imagine the growth that we will see for each of these platform coins if NEM with its current 50 to 60 is sitting at the market cap of 4 billion already? Now, if you consider Ethereum is currently sitting at a market cap of 68 billion, it's the biggest platform, and it holds about 900 projects out of the 2,000 that are currently in the market. So its project volume is about 15 times that of NEM, and its price is 17 times that of NEM. So it's almost a correlation. As the project numbers increase on the platform, the value of the platform increases almost linearly. So imagine if the platform project that you support now, okay, it could be Neo or Tron or Cardano. Imagine if that project ever got to 10,000 projects or dApps on its platform. That's the kind of prices that you'll be looking at for platform investments in 3 to 5 years time. So it's a very, very lucrative business, and that's why a lot of the top crypto projects at the moment are platform projects. And that's why it is still worthwhile looking for good upcoming platform projects. So with that as the backdrop, now let's take a look at Zilliqa, whom I believe is one of the better platforms around. So this is their website. It's a very clean, modern, and easy to navigate website. One particular feature I like on their website is that they display their most recent trial run transaction speed, and they're sitting at 2,488, which is impressive. Okay, to give you an idea, we all know Bitcoin sitting about 6 or 7, Ethereum sitting about 16 transactions per second. The newer ones that are being launched at the moment are sitting about 1,000 transactions per second. So even on a alpha testnet, they are sitting at 2,500 transactions per second. So that's very impressive. Most platform websites don't display their transaction speeds, either because they haven't achieved it yet, it's just something they talk about achieving, but they don't have the technology to achieve it yet, or they're not really that proud to advertise what is their real speed. The other thing I like about Zilliqa from the start is that they have the shortest and most concise description of themselves among all the blockchain projects that we reviewed so far. They simply describe themselves as the next-gen high-throughput blockchain platform, and that's simple and accurate. High throughput is different from high performance. In computing terms, high performance means the ability to provide high performance for a short period of time. That means you can overload the computer or boost it up for a short period of time. A high throughput, though, is the ability to provide high performance with reliability over a long period of time. So it's a lot harder to do than just high performance. And that is what Zilliqa as a project or a blockchain project is designed to do. Now, the thing that defines any blockchain project is their consensus algorithm. This is the engine that drives the particular blockchain and helps it to function. Being decentralized, most consensus algorithms work by having every participating node validate every transaction. This works really well for security and accountability, but the problem is, the more nodes you have, the further the distance the information has to travel for validation by different nodes. Therefore, the overall speeds of the platform decreases as the platform grows. This is the scaling problem that most blockchain platforms struggle with, and they try to enable or enlist additional help like Lightning Network, Raiden, Plasma, etc. to help to improve things. Now, as a high throughput blockchain, Zilliqa is designed differently. It is designed to scale with the nodes, meaning that the more nodes Zilliqa has, instead of becoming slower, it actually becomes faster. How do they do this? It does this from 4 key features. The first key feature of Zilliqa is sharding. Now, this is really its hallmark feature that gives it a uniqueness. What is sharding? Where in traditional blockchains like Bitcoin, the information validation is done on one big block. Sharding automatically splits all the nodes involved into smaller chunks, and these are known as shards. So instead of having all nodes process all aspects of all transactions, each node now only processes a small part of the transactions, and then these are later combined together to form the bigger blockchain. You might say, I've heard of sharding before, and isn't sharding available for other blockchains? Example, Ethereum is currently exploring to use sharding as a scalability solution. So what makes Zilliqa so special then? The difference is being made for sharding versus trying to implement sharding. Now imagine you have a jigsaw puzzle with the picture of an apple, okay, versus an actual photograph or a picture of an apple. Zilliqa is like the jigsaw puzzle where it was designed and created to come apart into pieces and be joined back together easily and beautifully. A platform like Ethereum is designed to actually be one single picture that looks beautiful. It was never designed to be taken apart. You could manually tear it apart and put it back together again, but it would take so much more effort and the end result might not be what you hope for. And in fact, if you try to implement sharding on a platform that wasn't designed to be taken apart, you end up having vulnerabilities like security breaches. Which is why even though Ethereum is aware of sharding technology, it's having a lot of trouble implementing it at the moment. But Zilliqa is built for sharding, and its transaction speed is now already literally more than 150 times faster than Ethereum's. The second key feature of Zilliqa is the actual consensus algorithm. Traditional algorithms use proof of work, so you need multiple nodes to help validate multiple transactions, and multiple confirmations are needed. But Zilliqa uses a very unique consensus algorithm called practical Byzantine fault tolerant. What it means is that it doesn't allow temporary faults. So once a block is confirmed, it cannot change, so no further confirmations are required. You don't need to do multiple confirmations. Not only does this reduce the number of confirmations humongously, it also means that not every step of every transaction needs to be saved on the blockchain. Only the final and most updated transaction state needs to be saved. So it really saves or reduces the volume of the blockchain. Now they still do use proof of work to establish mining identities and reward miners, but this is not the actual working of the system. It's just to identify those who are mining so that Zilliqa can reward them. Mining on Zilliqa is easier and faster than Bitcoin because of the sharding. Nodes can often reach consensus on 700 blocks in a row, so it will also use a lot less electricity since you can reach consensus on multiple blocks during an epoch. The mining rewards are more stable and better. So this is good news for those with GPUs who are mining Bitcoin. You really should consider swapping over to mine Zilliqa when the mainnet is launched. I wonder if you can mine with CPU. It's not been released any information about that yet. I assume more information will be released closer to mainnet release. But given its very low hash rate, it's quite possible that at least in the beginning stage of Zilliqa mainnet, we should be able to mine with CPU. So that will be something really worth looking forward to. Now, Zilliqa also employs transaction sharding. The sharding process we described above is network sharding, which affects the network speed. Transactional sharding is a similar process that shards any transactions from a sender, but the main advantage of it isn't just the speed, it's actually the security, because then the transaction becomes immune to hacks such as double sending or replay. The final key feature of Zilliqa lies in their smart contract language. Traditional smart contracts on the blockchain are actually not suitable for running computation-intensive tasks, as the smart contracts would run the same heavy computation repeatedly on all nodes for validation. So again, Zilliqa is designed for scaling, and they created their own smart contract language called Scala that basically improves data flow as well as is scalable. I was laughing at the name Scala. It reminds me of Prison Break, for those of you who have watched Prison Break. Okay. Finally, to make their smart contract user-friendly, Zilliqa provided a front-end language that is similar to Solidity, which is Ethereum's smart contract language. So Ethereum smart contracts are used by almost half of all blockchain projects in the world. So blockchain programmers tend to be quite familiar and literate with it. So it makes it easy for them to use Zilliqa's smart contract language then. However, it's probably worth mentioning here that a lot of new programmers to blockchain may not be familiar with Solidity. They are much more familiar with traditional programming language like C#, JavaScript, etc. So this may actually be a minus point for Zilliqa for entry-level programmers into blockchain. Some might say that it wasn't a hindrance to Ethereum because Ethereum used Solidity and it still had a very large volume on its platform now. But the thing is, Ethereum came in really early, and when Ethereum came in and launched smart contracts, it never really had the competition that is out there today. And the truth is, there are many other good blockchain platform programs at the moment who do offer use of easier programming language. So this may potentially be a slight hindrance to Zilliqa. The last thing to mention about Zilliqa as a blockchain project is that it's really decentralized with information. Thus, it guarantees the safety through its consensus algorithm. Now, there are other blockchain platforms like EOS out there at the moment who boast scalability and even faster speeds, 100,000 transactions per second, 1 million transactions per second. Now, technically, Zilliqa can catch up to those numbers, but it needs many, many, many nodes. Zilliqa can scale up to 1 million nodes, and then at that point, the transaction speed will be similar to EOS. But where Zilliqa is better than EOS at the moment is that the EOS consensus algorithm is actually delegated proof of stake. So it's actually a very centralized algorithm. So EOS is actually a centralized product, which means you got greater security risk because people can just hack into it. So Zilliqa has the advantage in terms of security. Alright, enough tech stuff. Let's look at the team. So this is a picture of all their team members, and if you click on the link below, they give you a good description of all the team members. I'll summarize it as a team that is very broad in terms of its expertise. You've got scientific advisor, you've got technology, you've got research, you've got communications, you've got marketing, you've got strategies, you've got developers. So it's a very broad team. The resumes are very academically heavy, so lots of PhDs from very good universities like Princeton, NUS, example. And a lot of them have had previous leadership experience in their various fields. So you can go through the page and click on all of them to find out more. Their advisors are also very prominent people in the blockchain industry. You got people like Nikolai Oster, who's the head of ICO at Bitcoin Suisse. You've got Alexander Lipton, who's the founder and CEO of Stronghold Labs, etc. So the advisors are basically very mature people in the field and very heavy names in the blockchain industry. If you look down at their partners, for some reason Brave browser doesn't show their partners. It doesn't like them. Well, we used Chrome for a while. So if you look at their partners, again, it's all major blockchain players. Okay, you got Bitcoin Suits, you got 8Decimal, you got 1KX. And I guess this is very appropriate in this case because their business is purely a blockchain focused project. So we wouldn't expect circular names of other fields like Sony or Amazon to appear. That would be weird. Okay, but most of these names and companies, to be honest, will be quite foreign to most of us. But on the whole, they do give the impression that this team is a very intelligent team with a mature view on the blockchain market. Alright, this is their roadmap. They are releasing testnet version 1.0 was due to come out in the first quarter, so it's due to be out about now. They have released a statement to say that they are currently overdue and not out yet. The reason for this is because they're very light on their developers number, so they don't have enough developers. But they are working on it, and in the last 2 days, if you follow their social media, they have added a developer as well as a head of business development. So they are working on it. That's good. Now, some people are getting nervous on their social media, and it's always the case in blockchain projects. When they run a little bit behind, which happens quite often, people panic post that they are panicking, and this makes other people on the social media or in the community panic as well. But the truth is, if you want to be a long-term investor in crypto, you need to learn to just chill a little bit. The big question you need to ask yourself is, do I believe in this project or is it a scam? And if it's a scam, then you need to get worried. But if you do believe in the project, then you can just sit back and relax and wait for things to happen when they eventually will. Recently, there's been another blockchain project, platform project as well, that's called Credits, that's come under a lot of fire. So what happened is initially they weren't able to keep up with the roadmap, and so they even pushed their ICO date back because they wanted to produce a working alpha product first. But people in their own social community who were following them started to give them a lot of pressure because they were running behind. So then out of the pressure, they quickly launched a product that was not really ready. And in the rush, they made a noob mistake in their coding, which was picked up and announced on YouTube. And it was a fair call by the YouTuber. And then they got slammed hard and were accused of being a scam. Now, I'm not saying they are a scam. I'm not saying they're not. I haven't actually looked at credits in detail, and we're not talking about credits today. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is that sometimes teams fall behind their roadmaps, and then they get stuck in a very difficult place where they get a lot of pressure from the public, especially their own community, that should be supporting them. And they get into this difficult place where if they don't make any big public moves, they get slammed. But then if they make a public move with a premature product that isn't perfect, they also get slammed. So there's no win for them really. So if you are already invested into Zilliqa and you believe in the project and are part of the social media community, I would suggest it's okay to give them a bit of slack. They are running behind and they do know it. I'm sure they're under a lot of pressure already. They do reply quite frequently to social media posts, and they do apologize that they're running behind the schedule. So they're not running away or ignoring you. They also give updates about what features the next release will include and post their latest test speeds frequently. So they're really doing their best. And if you believe in the project, it's just a matter of time before testnet and mainnet are launched. The crypto market is going to keep growing, and we're really still in early days of cryptocurrency. Some people are worried because they say, oh, the Neo platform mainnet is going to be launched before them, or EOS mainnet is going to be launched before them. The truth is some platforms will be launched before them, but there will also be platforms that will be launched after them. In fact, more platforms will be launched after them than those who are already launched. They're still early in the market. So if they can deliver the product they promise at some point in time, they will get their deserved share of the market. So just, again, platform projects in the blockchain world are currently a very, very long-term lucrative investment. Okay, as a platform, the industries they are targeting include advertising, sharing economy, so stuff like Uber and Airbnb, payment networks, and they can do this because they will actually be faster than Visa and Ripple, parallel auctions, scientific computing, and this thing called high assurance computation. I'm not really sure what this one means, and they kind of glossed over it during their keynote presentation. But I guess the impression is that they are targeting industries that require high volume and fast transactions. Currently, they are partnered with Mindshare, the global media agency, to begin testing for fake news, data security, and potentially as a potential industry-wide token system for validation. So Mindshare is a massive company with 7,000 employees and 31 billion in revenue. So this is a huge partnership for Zilliqa. Okay, coming to the end, let's look at price prediction. Zilliqa is currently sitting at 4.4 cents. This is a low price for it because, and this is actually kind of surprising because they hit Binance recently, but as you can see, the price hasn't gone up that much. Okay? As you can see, since it was released in January, the price has really only been going down, probably because of the market, and the lowest that it hit was 3.3 cents about 5 days ago. Its highest was about 14 cents just after it hit the exchanges. So really now at 4.4 cents is not a bad price to buy. If we look at the 7-day chart, it still looks a little bit unstable and it probably needs to correct a little bit more to find a stable kind of price that is going to hover around. But in the long term, you're still going to get a good gain if you buy at this price, because I think that the 3.3 cent mark was a very strong resistance, and the 5 cent mark is a price that we've seen it return to several times before. So I think at some point it's just going to go up again. Now, different platform projects have tracked different kind of blockchain projects that want to build on it. So for example, Dragon Chain with its incubator attracts companies who have no blockchain experience and need a lot of help. Zilliqa, on the other hand, with its high throughput blockchain properties, will attract projects that have very big volumes and fast trades. So this is actually a good feature for token price because it means that there's a lot of use of the token. And we know that token prices or currency prices go up the more you use it. So this is one advantage that Zilliqa has in terms of the projects that will naturally want to use it. The other thing I wanted to show you guys about Zilliqa is the J-curve. Zilliqa hasn't had its J-curve run yet. And that's because its tech hasn't been developed, so they really got nothing to run on yet. But the unusual thing is that Zilliqa is currently sitting in the top 50 coins with a market cap of just over 290 million. So that's a very, very high base for a coin that hasn't hit the J-curve yet. So almost every other coin in the top 50 have had their J-curve run. So it's really a rare find to find a top 50 coin who hasn't had the J-curve run yet. Now, Asian companies tend to develop their tech before advertising. So the mainnet launch and the strong advertising around that period is probably when we can see this coin moonshot. And again, it's got a very big base already at the bottom of the J-curve. So when it takes off, we're really going to expect a very, very big takeoff, to rise to a very high coin and very high position on the coin market. In last year's altcoin run, when the altcoins had their J-curve run, most of the coins went up between 20 to 50 times gain. And seeing as Zilliqa is now close to its all-time low, it's very possible that when it takes off, you're going to see at least 20 times gain. 20 times of its current market cap will put it somewhere close to 6 billion, okay, which is number 5 on the market, okay, somewhere around the Cardano price point. So does Zilliqa deserve to be in the top 10? I think in terms of its tech and its platform performance, I think yes, it actually does belong to the top 10. I think it's just really, really under-recognized at the moment. Now, the only potential to let Zilliqa down when its mainnet hits the market in the third quarter, according to the current roadmap or whenever it happens, is its speed at the mainnet launch. You see, as a platform whose tech relies solely on scalability, they need a lot of nodes to be fast. So depending on how many nodes they have then, they might or might not attract attention. They might be decently fast, but it might just be the average fast that every other platform is. So if they want to attract attention, they got to be somewhat spectacularly fast by that point, But in the long term, okay, whether or not they have a big run at the mainnet launch, in the long term, when we're talking about 2 or 3 years, I think there is no doubt that this is going to be one of the big platforms in the blockchain arena. It's got a really, really solid tech behind it. So that's it for me, guys. That's all my thoughts on Zilliqa. Thank you so much for joining us. If you like this video, please give us a like and a subscribe. Leave us a comment below to let us know if you are invested in Zilliqa or if you like it. Or what's your favorite alternative blockchain platform coin? Or if you have any other coins or topics that you'd like us to do a post on, just let us know. We always love hearing from you guys what you want, because this channel is made just for you. Well, I hope you guys are having a great Wednesday wherever you are. Stay well, and we will catch you guys tomorrow.